One of the times I've seen it be successful, I've seen that people integrate communities with ideas. There's poets like Darla Nikki Jansen, Dasha Kelly, who have bridged, even Kwame now, Anton Nixon, who have bridged certain gaps. Even myself, I mean, some people would say I don't want to, I don't feel comfortable bragging on myself, but I'm saying that there's some people who have, because of the remarkableness or the individuality of their work, Ryan Hurley, Shelley Davis, um, Deshaun Ewing, Nigel Wade, Bobby Drake. There are individuals who the strength of their work has led them to be accepted and showing people an alternative sense of reality from another community. But the less skilled poets who are fledgling in their words tend to be written off as being amateurish or I don't know, from a different racial. I don't understand them. I don't get them. And I think when the poets take the tact that they're going to be sure that everyone can understand what they're saying, I think they do it. But I don't know how advantageous it is financially to go about trying to be heard by someone else, because you can lose your core audience. And those audiences tend to be divided just in the same way the sets are, by what communities they're held in, by the people that attend them. And so if you go to a set in Wauwatosa doing a poem that works on the north side of Milwaukee, it might not work unless you really know how to work it. So yeah, there's times when I think the more expert of the community, as it goes to the art of spoken word especially, venture into those other places, I think it works fine. But we still have a little bit of work to do. You know, I think what I'm trying to accomplish with my writing is self-expression primarily. I think I revisit certain themes, whether it's suicide, police brutality, social injustice. But I think it all stems from me wanting to express my feelings on those subjects. I don't have some mission statement where I'm trying to change the world, but I think with every poem I'm trying to change the world. Because I feel like once these truths get spoken and sent out into the world, they change people in ways that will make the world a better place. And each poem, for me, is about, as pretentious as it sounds, about changing people in little ways and at least getting them to think for 3 minutes, 5 minutes, however long I'm speaking, about the world in a different perspective. And trying to invoke some compassion in people. I think sometimes we get caught in the hustle and bustle and we take away people's humanity. So being a voice for the voiceless is important, but I also wanna be empathetic with the characters I create or with the images that I invoke. And sometimes I'm just trying to be entertaining. But at the end of the day, self-expression is the rule. Buddy Wakefield was probably my favorite writer for a while. Patricia Smith is probably my favorite writer, but Buddy was really cool. He was big in slam when I first started slamming. He once wrote I'm better than the worst decision I've ever made. I just thought that was real impactful. Hearts don't break, they bruise and get better. Was another Buddy Wakefield quote. He's a performance-styled artist with impeccable writing chops. And he won nationals a few times. And again, like I said, I love Patricia Smith. So it's kind of in between the two of them. Who's my favorite? I'm trying to think of some Patricia Smith lines. There's just too many. And she does a lot of persona pieces. And but like I said, what I loved about Buddy is his transparency. I'm a heterosexual man, but he's a gay man, and the way he expresses himself about his sexuality, it didn't change anything for me. It just was humanized people that I may not have necessarily understood before I heard his writing, and that we're all basically the same. And it's been my pleasure to share a drink with him and sit down and talk. And he's a really cool guy. So it was nice. You say you shouldn't meet your heroes because sometimes they don't live up to the hype. But he was really a really cool dude, and he did a performance here with one of the Milwaukee poets by the name of Britt Nicole. She opened up for him when he did his feature here in Milwaukee, and I got to introduce her and hang out with him a little bit. So it was really cool.